Did you know that some mistakes could turn your eggs toxic? Eggs are often lauded as one of nature's most perfect foods, a nutritional powerhouse packed with high-quality protein, essential vitamins, and vital nutrients. They're a breakfast staple, a baking essential, and a versatile ingredient in countless dishes. But what many people fail to realize is that eggs, if not handled with care and prepared correctly, can become more harmful than beneficial, potentially introducing health risks you may never have suspected. The truth is, whether eggs are a boon or a bane to your health hinges significantly on how you store, prepare, and cook them. This isn't just about avoiding potential harm. It's about understanding how to unlock the full nutritional potential of eggs while safeguarding your health. We'll delve into the science behind these mistakes, exploring exactly what happens when eggs are mishandled and, more importantly, what you can do to ensure they remain a safe and nutritious cornerstone of your diet. So, if you want to ensure your eggs remain a health-boosting superfood rather than a hidden danger, you won't want to miss this. Let's crack into these common mistakes and discover how to make every egg count for your well-being. 1. Overcooking eggs. The heat is on, and that's not always a good thing. One of the most pervasive mistakes people make when cooking eggs is subjecting them to excessive heat. While eggs are undeniably packed with protein, healthy fats, and essential vitamins, cooking them at excessively high temperatures or for prolonged periods can trigger undesirable changes in their composition, potentially diminishing their nutritional value and even creating harmful compounds. When eggs are overcooked, whether by frying them until they develop a browned, crispy edge, boiling them for an extended period until the yolk turns a grayish-green hue, or scrambling them at high heat until they become dry and rubbery, they undergo a process called oxidation. This chemical reaction involves the interaction of fats and cholesterol with oxygen, leading to the formation of oxidized cholesterol and other potentially harmful compounds. Oxidized cholesterol, in particular, has been a subject of increasing scientific scrutiny. Studies suggest that it may contribute to increased inflammation in the body and a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. While the precise mechanisms are still being investigated, the prevailing theory is that oxidized cholesterol is more readily absorbed by the body than native cholesterol, potentially contributing to the buildup of plaque in arteries. That characteristic sulfuric smell you might have noticed after boiling eggs for too long? That's a telltale sign of overcooking. It arises from a chemical reaction between the sulfur present in egg whites and the iron found in the yolk, resulting in the formation of iron sulfide. While iron sulfide itself isn't acutely toxic, its presence is a clear indicator that the egg has been subjected to excessive heat, likely damaging some of its delicate nutrients in the process. Furthermore, overcooking can also negatively impact the texture and palatability of eggs. Overcooked eggs tend to become rubbery, dry, and less appealing, which may lead to a decreased enjoyment of this otherwise nutritious food. The case of Robert, a breakfast routine gone sour. Consider Robert, a 76-year-old who had religiously consumed eggs for breakfast every day for decades. He favored frying them in a pan until they achieved a crispy edge, believing it enhanced their taste. However, over time, he began to experience digestive discomfort and increasingly frequent heartburn. After learning about the potential dangers of oxidized cholesterol, Robert decided to alter his cooking method. He switched to cooking his eggs over lower heat, gently scrambling them instead of aggressively frying them. Within a few weeks, he reported feeling noticeably better, experiencing less bloating, and enjoying more sustained energy throughout the day. This simple change in cooking technique had a profound impact on his digestive well-being. Nutrient destruction, a hidden cost of overcooking. Beyond the formation of potentially harmful compounds, overcooking eggs can also lead to the destruction of some of their key nutrients. Eggs are a rich source of essential vitamins, including vitamin B12 and folate, as well as powerful antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, which play a crucial role in supporting brain health and protecting against age-related macular degeneration. However, exposing eggs to prolonged high heat can significantly reduce the bioavailability of these essential nutrients, meaning your body may not be able to absorb and utilize them as effectively. If you're relying on eggs as a primary source of these nutrients, cooking them correctly becomes just as important as including them in your diet in the first place. The science of heat and nutrients. Vitamins. Heat-sensitive vitamins like folate and vitamin B12 are particularly vulnerable to degradation during overcooking. These vitamins are essential for cell growth, nerve function, and energy production. Antioxidants. Lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoid antioxidants that protect the eyes from damage, can also be diminished by high heat. Proteins. While the protein content of eggs remains relatively stable during cooking, excessive heat can alter the structure of proteins, potentially making them slightly less digestible. The good news: gentle cooking is key. The good news is that you don't have to eliminate eggs from your diet to avoid these risks. You simply need to be mindful of how you cook them. Opting for lower cooking temperatures and shorter cooking times can help preserve their nutrients while minimizing oxidation. Practical tips for gentle egg cooking. Boiling. Instead of hard-boiling eggs, try lightly boiling them for a shorter duration to achieve a soft or medium-cooked yolk. Poaching. Poaching is an excellent low-heat cooking method that preserves the delicate texture and nutrients of eggs. Scrambling. When scrambling eggs, use a gentle heat and stir frequently to prevent them from becoming dry and overcooked. Frying. If frying eggs, use a gentle heat, avoid overbrowning, and consider adding a small amount of water to the pan to create steam and prevent sticking. 2. Eating raw or undercooked eggs, a risky proposition. Many people believe that consuming raw or undercooked eggs is a superior way to obtain maximum nutrition, convinced that cooking diminishes their inherent goodness. However, this practice carries significant health risks, primarily due to the potential presence of harmful bacteria like Salmonella. While eggs are undoubtedly packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals, consuming them raw or undercooked can expose you to these harmful pathogens, which can lead to severe food poisoning. This is particularly concerning for seniors, as their immune systems naturally weaken with age, making them more susceptible to infections and less able to effectively fight them off. What might manifest as a mild illness in a younger individual can quickly escalate into a dangerous condition for an older adult, potentially requiring hospitalization and, in severe cases, even proving fatal. If you've ever indulged in foods like homemade mayonnaise, raw cookie dough, or eggs with runny yolks, you may have unknowingly placed yourself at risk. Salmonella contamination, while relatively rare, is not something to be taken lightly. The symptoms of salmonella poisoning. Symptoms of salmonella infection can manifest within 6 to 72 hours after consuming contaminated food and can include fever, stomach cramps, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, headache, dehydration. For seniors, dehydration can be particularly dangerous as it can lead to electrolyte imbalances, kidney problems, and other serious complications. Margaret's story: a raw egg smoothie turned sour. Consider Margaret, a vibrant 68-year-old who loved starting her mornings with a raw egg smoothie. She had been doing this for years, firmly believing that it was the most efficient way to absorb all the nutrients from the eggs. However, one day she experienced excruciating stomach pain and persistent nausea that lasted for several days. After a visit to her doctor, she was diagnosed with salmonella poisoning. She was shocked and dismayed, never suspecting that the eggs she had been consuming for so long could have been the culprit. After switching to fully cooked eggs, Margaret never experienced another incident and continued to enjoy the same nutritional benefits without the added risk. The avidin-biotin connection, another reason to cook your eggs. Another compelling reason to avoid raw eggs is the presence of a compound called avidin. Avidin is a protein found in raw egg whites that binds strongly to biotin, an essential B vitamin, also known as vitamin B7. Biotin plays a crucial role in supporting metabolism, nerve function, and maintaining healthy skin and hair. When eggs are consumed raw, avidin effectively prevents the body from properly absorbing biotin, potentially leading to biotin deficiency over time. Symptoms of biotin deficiency can include hair loss, skin rashes, and neurological problems. Fortunately, cooking eggs deactivates avidin, rendering it harmless and allowing your body to absorb all the beneficial nutrients, including biotin, without any interference. Addressing the organic and free-range myth. Some people insist that raw eggs are safe if they originate from organic or free-range sources, believing that these eggs are inherently cleaner and less likely to be contaminated. However, the truth is that any egg, regardless of its source or how carefully it's handled, can potentially carry bacteria. While organic and free-range farming practices may reduce the overall risk of contamination, they do not eliminate it entirely. Factors such as hen health, sanitation practices, and storage conditions all play a role in determining the safety of eggs. The safest approach: cook thoroughly. The most reliable way to protect yourself from salmonella and other potential bacterial contaminants is to ensure that your eggs are thoroughly cooked. This means cooking them until both the whites and yolks are firm and no longer runny. Safe egg cooking options. Scrambled eggs. Cook until no visible liquid remains. Boiled eggs. Cook until the yolks are firm, typically 7 to 10 minutes. Poached eggs. Cook until the whites are set and the yolks are slightly thickened but still soft. Fried eggs. Cook until both the whites and yolks are firm. If you enjoy runny yolks, you can minimize the risk by using pasteurized eggs, which have been treated to reduce the number of bacteria. However, cooking eggs thoroughly remains the safest, most reliable method for preventing foodborne illness. Third, storing cooked eggs improperly, a recipe for bacterial growth. Many people don't give much thought to how they store their eggs after cooking, often assuming that once they're cooked, they're inherently safe. However, improper storage can transform a perfectly wholesome meal into a breeding ground for harmful bacteria, potentially leading to foodborne illness. When cooked eggs are left at room temperature for extended periods or are not stored correctly, they can rapidly become unsafe to consume. Bacteria thrive in warm environments, and once eggs enter the danger zone of 40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 to 60 degrees Celsius, harmful pathogens can begin to multiply rapidly, sometimes doubling in number in as little as 20 minutes. This is particularly concerning for seniors, as their weakened immune systems make them more vulnerable to the severe consequences of foodborne illnesses. If you've ever left a plate of scrambled eggs on the counter for a few hours and then decided to eat them anyway, you may have unknowingly put yourself at risk. The longer cooked eggs sit out at room temperature, the greater the likelihood that they will develop harmful bacteria such as Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli. Refrigeration, slowing down the bacterial clock. While refrigerating cooked eggs can significantly slow down bacterial growth, it doesn't eliminate it entirely. Cooked eggs should always be stored properly in an airtight container and consumed within a safe time frame. Recommended storage times for cooked eggs. Hard-boiled eggs. Consume within 1 week when stored in the refrigerator. Scrambled or fried eggs. Consume within 3 to 4 days when stored in the refrigerator. Egg mixtures and egg-containing leftovers should be refrigerated at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below when not being cooked or eaten. George's lesson: airtight containers and smaller batches. Consider George, a 72-year-old who enjoyed making a large batch of scrambled eggs at the beginning of each week to save time on cooking. He would store them in a loosely covered container in the refrigerator, grabbing a portion each morning for breakfast. However, after experiencing several episodes of stomach discomfort and nausea, he realized that his storage habits might be the underlying issue. After switching to airtight containers and preparing smaller batches of eggs more frequently, George's digestive troubles disappeared. He learned that proper storage was just as important as cooking the eggs thoroughly. Cross-contamination, a hidden threat. Another critical issue with improperly stored eggs is the risk of cross-contamination. If cooked eggs are placed near raw meat, unwashed vegetables, or other contaminated foods in the refrigerator, they can easily absorb harmful bacteria. Many people mistakenly believe that cooked eggs are inherently safe due to the heat they've been subjected to during cooking. However, once they cool down, they become just as vulnerable to bacterial contamination as any other perishable food. Reheating eggs, a delicate art. One often overlooked aspect of egg storage is the proper method for reheating them. If you've ever microwaved leftover eggs and noticed a rubbery texture or an unpleasant smell, it's because eggs don't reheat well. Overheating them can not only destroy valuable nutrients, but also create a tough, unappetizing texture. A gentler approach is to reheat eggs on the stovetop over low heat, adding a small amount of moisture, such as a splash of water or broth, to prevent them from drying out. If you must use a microwave, heat them in short intervals, stirring occasionally to help maintain a better texture. 4. Using damaged or expired eggs, a recipe for disaster. One of the most straightforward ways to transform eggs into a potential health hazard is by consuming those that are cracked, expired, or have been improperly stored. While eggs may appear perfectly fine on the outside, if they've passed their prime or have even a small crack in the shell, they could be harboring dangerous bacteria, including salmonella. This is particularly crucial for seniors to keep in mind, as the aging process naturally weakens the immune system, making them more vulnerable to infections that younger individuals might recover from more easily. If you've ever stood in front of your refrigerator questioning whether your eggs are still safe to eat, you're not alone. Many people rely solely on the printed expiration date on the carton, but what they may not realize is that eggs can sometimes spoil before that date, or, conversely, remain safe for consumption a little longer, depending on how they've been stored. The water test, a simple freshness check. The most reliable way to assess an egg's freshness is by performing a simple water test. 1. Place an egg in a bowl of cold water. 2. Observe how the egg behaves. If it sinks and lays flat, the egg is fresh and safe to eat. If it stands upright on one end, the egg is still acceptable to use but should be consumed soon. If it floats, the egg has likely gone bad and should be discarded. Evelyn's story, a strange smell and a lesson learned. Consider Evelyn, a meticulous 74-year-old who is always mindful of what she eats. However, she had never given much thought to inspecting her eggs before using them. One morning, as she cracked an egg into her frying pan, she noticed an unusual odor. Dismissing it as insignificant, she proceeded to cook the egg anyway. Within hours, she began experiencing nausea and severe stomach cramps. After a visit to her doctor, she discovered that she had contracted food poisoning from a contaminated egg. From that day forward, Evelyn made it a habit to perform the water test before using any eggs, and she never encountered another similar incident. Handling eggs with care before they reach your home. Another critical factor to consider is how eggs are handled and stored before they even reach your home. If eggs have been stored at improper temperatures, whether in the store, during transportation, or even in your refrigerator, condensation can form on the shells. This moisture creates an ideal environment for bacteria to thrive and multiply. This is why it's essential to always store eggs in the coldest part of your refrigerator, typically on a shelf near the back rather than in the door, where temperature fluctuations are more common. Cracked eggs, a hidden entry point for bacteria. Cracked eggs pose another significant threat. Even if an egg appears intact upon purchase, small hairline cracks in the shell can provide an entry point for bacteria. If you inadvertently bring home a cracked egg, it's best to err on the side of caution and discard it rather than risk potential contamination. The same principle applies to eggs that exhibit an unusual odor or discoloration, as these are clear indicators that they have likely spoiled and should not be consumed. 5. Combining eggs with unhealthy cooking oils, sabotaging a nutritional powerhouse. One of the most common yet frequently overlooked mistakes people make when preparing eggs is the choice of cooking oil. While eggs themselves are a nutritional powerhouse, brimming with high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients, The type of oil you select to cook them in can dramatically alter the nutritional profile of your meal, potentially transforming it from a health-boosting dish into one that contributes to inflammation and long-term health risks. Many individuals are unaware that certain oils, particularly highly processed vegetable oils, break down at high temperatures, generating harmful compounds that can inflict damage on your body over time. If you've routinely fried your eggs in margarine, vegetable oil, or other refined seed oils like soybean, corn, or canola oil, you may have unknowingly exposed yourself to trans fats and oxidized lipids. These unhealthy fats have been linked to increased inflammation, heart disease, and even cognitive decline in older adults. Unlike natural fats that the body can process efficiently, trans fats interfere with normal cellular function, potentially leading to long-term damage. Seniors, in particular, should exercise extra caution when it comes to their fat intake, as chronic inflammation is strongly associated with a variety of age-related diseases, including arthritis and cardiovascular conditions. Frank's transformation, a simple oil change, a world of difference. Consider Frank, a 78-year-old who had been cooking his eggs in vegetable oil for decades. He had never given it a second thought, assuming that all oils were essentially the same. However, after learning about the potential dangers of highly processed seed oils, he made the conscious decision to switch to healthier alternatives like butter and olive oil. Within weeks, Frank noticed a significant improvement in his overall well-being. He felt less sluggish after meals, and his digestion improved. He hadn't altered what he ate. He had simply changed how he prepared it, and that seemingly small adjustment made a remarkable difference in how he felt each day. Smoke point matters. Avoiding toxic fumes. Another critical factor to consider when selecting a cooking oil is its smoke point. The smoke point is the temperature at which an oil begins to break down and release harmful compounds into the air. Many vegetable oils have relatively low smoke points, meaning they become unstable and release potentially toxic fumes when exposed to high heat. When these oils are heated beyond their smoke point, they produce free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage cells and accelerate the aging process. If you frequently fry eggs at high temperatures using these oils, you may be unknowingly introducing oxidative stress into your body. Healthier alternatives. Embracing stable fats. A more prudent approach is to choose cooking oils that remain stable under heat. Butter, ghee, clarified butter, coconut oil, and extra virgin olive oil are all excellent choices for cooking eggs. These fats not only enhance the flavor of your eggs, but also provide essential nutrients that support brain health, heart function, and overall well-being. If you prefer a lighter option, avocado oil is another great alternative, boasting a high smoke point and a healthy balance of monounsaturated fats. Final thoughts: maximizing benefits, minimizing risks. Now that we've explored these 5 common mistakes, take a moment to reflect on how you've been preparing and consuming eggs. While eggs are undoubtedly one of the most nutritious foods available, subtle changes in how they're cooked, stored, and handled can be the difference between bolstering your health and unknowingly jeopardizing it. The encouraging news is that avoiding these pitfalls is relatively simple, and once you implement these changes, you'll be able to relish eggs in a way that truly benefits your body. If you've been overcooking your eggs, try lowering the heat to preserve their nutrients and avoid harmful oxidation. If you've been consuming them raw or undercooked, consider switching to fully cooked eggs to mitigate the risk of foodborne illness. Proper storage is paramount. Keeping cooked eggs refrigerated and handling them carefully can prevent the proliferation of harmful bacteria. If you've never considered checking for cracks or expiration dates, performing a simple water test can help ensure that your eggs are fresh and safe to eat. Finally, selecting the right cooking oil can make all the difference, helping you avoid unnecessary inflammation while amplifying the nutritional benefits of your meal. Remember, your body relies on the food you consume to function optimally. Making informed choices about how you prepare your meals can have a lasting impact on your energy levels, digestion, and overall health. It's not about forsaking eggs altogether. It's about savoring them in a way that maximizes their benefits and minimizes potential risks. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, and comment below to let us know what you learned. Your support helps us create more content to help you live a healthier life.